Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Siralim Ultimate. This episode we have a Nether boss fight. Before we jump in though, and a really nice item bonus as well, hopefully we don't get wiped by the first enemy we fight, although with extra speed, that is always a threat. But one thing we can do to help ourselves a little bit is to get another relic. One thing you'll have noticed is I have only. Wait a second. It unequipped my Vitreous from my Centaur when I upgraded him. I'm glad I noticed that. I need to attune this to you. See, I was wondering, I was like, shouldn't there be a second icon floating above, you know, where the centaur is? Like, this is kind of the party arrangement, and the relics are hovering over the position of the creature who's wielding them. Our animatus at spot 2 has Bloodseeker equipped, the centaur at rank at position 4 has Vitreous equipped. But yes, what I was gonna say was, one thing we can do to help our chances of survival is by getting another relic. We have only 2. We can absolutely give relics to all our creatures. Long term, of course, we'll be doing that, but it will take a lot of piety before we're able to. We will have to unlock a new relic though, because these ones are in use. And I've been thinking we should give something to the Dreadwhite that synergizes with maximum health and defense and you know, that kind of a situation. So I narrowed it down to 2. One of them was Fable, chiefly because of what you get on rank 80. The bearers on Resurrect and on Death effects activate 1 additional time. Those effects are a part of our build, but then the rest of the bonuses are a little bit lackluster, because then like they're on attack and on cast. That's not really part of our build. On heal, on debuff, that isn't part of our build either. So I was like, yeah, that we can maybe do a little bit better than that. And I think eventually I settled on 5740 NG, the impenetrable plate of 4080. I think we're gonna go for this. Let's take a look at what it'll do for us. So look at the bonuses on rank. Well, first of all, at the end of each enemy's turn, this relic attacks a random enemy if the bearer didn't take any damage. And then look at what you get on rank 20. After this relic attacks, the bearer gains defense. And at rank 50, after the relic attacks, the bearer gains maximum health. And rank 30, the bearer cannot lose health and defense from stat boosting effects. I don't think that'll apply if we kill it, but it'll mean enemies can't take away the stats that we've gained if we didn't get a chance to reincarnate, I think. I mean, if it does survive even after he dies, that would just be game-breakingly good. But maybe, you know what, even if it's not that, there are other good things to be had, especially what we have at rank 60 and 80. At the end of each enemy's turn and each ally's turn, the relic has a chance to cast Iron Skin. This is going to synergize with the new trait we picked, the Onyx Carbuncle one, where if we cast enough spells, we become immune to debuffs. Although I'm still not sure if that's going to work in boss fights. Oh, and rank 90. After gaining maximum health, it recovers health equal to the amount it gained, making it even harder to kill, and rank 100, 100% chance to avoid damage, minus 10% for each time this effect is activated. That just generally seems like a really good thing. I'm just gonna go for it. Let's unlock it for 5,000 piety. We have over 700,000, and let's rank it up all the way to 100. It's gonna cost a lot. Each time we hit one of the thresholds, a star will appear next to that property indicating that we have it. Ooh, and also it gives a defense bonus. That is also being ranked up. Eventually at rank 100 it'll be a 10% bonus, which is solid. I think this could work out really well. And let's attune this to our Dread White. And now it is appearing. Ooh. And also we get the achievements for empowering this relic. And there's a special Steam achievement for it as well. A whole list of achievements gotten in one fell swoop. 8, 9, and 10. There we go. And you see it floating all the way on the right, indicating that our Dread White has it equipped. Alright, now we could do some other, you know, messing around with spells. I don't think we need that. Let's just jump into this realm and see what we can do. We did the Kingdom of Heretics last episode, had a great time there, found 2 different cards, and beat the trainer as well. Now we go into the Land of Breath and Balance. Interesting realm. Let's see how well we can do with these realm properties. Ooh, before we go, because I don't think we'll get a chance to do... Hang on. We need to start another pilgrimage first, because I know we finished one last episode, so is anybody below 25? Is 25 the lowest? Yeah, so I generally do the pilgrimage with whoever has the lowest favor rank. Let's go with Alexandria. And also, let's look at our anointments. And I'm going to equip Sinistry. The creature with the highest defense always provokes at the end of its turn. We'll see how it goes. We may turn it off if it feels like it's not helping us out too much. Anyway, let's go into the Land of Breath and Balance. Let's hope we can get some good stuff to happen. Less stat gain is going to hurt us quite badly. Ooh, we got a Nether realm. I'm gonna just jump in there quickly. Ooh, this one is just gonna give us a knowledge with different creatures. Not my favorite. There are some creatures like the Veteran Griffin where we want to get knowledge with it so that we can summon it at the candle. And this is gonna give us 200 favor, pushing us into the next rank with a nice reward as well. And let's try to make my way over to the God Altar, but couldn't quite get there in time. What else? You will attack 11 times. Which is quite annoying. Quite annoying indeed. I'm going to use Rabbit Dementia. You guys don't have dodge chance. Oh, one thing I should do is I'm going to reassign your macro to the reincarnate one. I'll only switch up to the other macro when we're hunting divination candle enemies. Okay, we in a bit of a tough spot. I was hoping our Rift Dancer would not die. I was hoping our animators would not die. Let's try and do it this way. I think we'll be fine, especially because I think they've screwed themselves by attacking our red-white again. Yeah. We definitely are struggling a little bit against these enemies. And these are just regular combats. These aren't even Nemesis creatures. Finally, we get to the God Altar, where I get to talk to the God. Ariamaki, the God of balance. You sense that you have Ariamaki's attention, but he doesn't speak to you. State your purpose. My purpose is, I would like to make a donation. And Ariamaki, a wave of gratitude flows through you. Ariamaki seems pleased with your generous donation. Of course you're a mimic. So why are so many of our creatures dying from single attacks? Splash. Okay, you have splash. I should have known. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bash my way through this fight using Rabbit Dementia. Why are you dodging? Independent 50% chance to dodge attacks is actual garbage. Dread White, please. Okay. Well, we got through that mimic fight. Could have gotten hairy, and you know it's a tough realm when mimic fights are difficult. I have the suspicion that maybe, assuming we make it to the Nether boss, which is by no means guaranteed, we are probably not going to be able to beat them. The speed bonus, coupled with the fact that we don't have a... like, we're losing most of our stat gains. And enemies are killing us, like, even if we're coming back to life, they are, even if our units are coming back to life, they're coming back to life at the bottom of the timeline. So we need some buffs. Snared is definitely gonna help, potentially. Alright. Let's just try our best. Agile and the defensive, I don't think does very much for us. Agile could help us dodge a few attacks, but when they're attacking 11 times, I don't think that's going to help us too much. Let's pick up these books. We could get some disarmed and poisoned. Scorned would be great. Just nerf their thing about attacking us multiple times. This should be loot for us. Another, this time a kitter says, "Don't hurt me, I'll give you everything." We've seen this dialogue before. I don't know why they're so frightened of us. It's not like we've ever attacked innocent, defenseless creatures and just killed them for their loot. We'd never do something like that. Okay, the dodging is kind of working. Where's Rabbit Dementia? There it is. Is there damage reflection? There isn't. They just must have had a really annoying trait. Oh, and in this realm, if you pick up 3 tarot cards, you will get a random bonus. In this case, this is a little bit annoying because we could have gotten buffs anyway from these scales. Yeah, see now, there's gonna be one more. Oh, and depending if the scales are tilted to the left, then you get buffs. If it's to the right, you debuff enemies. But in this case, we were already fully buffed up, so I wish those tarot cards had given us something different. By the way, I should mention, I made a change to my build. A subtle change, but one that I think is a pretty important one. I'm gonna cast Rapid Dementia, yeah. So for my... As soon as we finish this fight, for my Ebony Ent, I think this is actually important enough to pause for a bit and talk about this. If we look at the spell gems, he's got Arbitration, but it has a chance to cast after healing. Healing is a way, essentially, of casting it on turn, because every time he gets a turn, he'll get healing due to due to mending, and he will always be mending because he'll be gaining maximum health. Why I want Arbitration to occasionally cast by itself is because it will remove enemy buffs. And if we can remove enemy buffs without having to use up an action, that could really help us out if it triggers. Which it only has a chance of doing it, but in a long fight it could end up being important. Now we have a Riddle Dwarf. The Wizard's Companion surely is sorcery, but let's not be presumptuous. Wizard's Companion, what? Sorcery class creatures. There we go. I would have been very surprised if that wasn't sorcery. Right, this is surely our master. Opening a lot of chests, not finding any rare loot, but you know what? It'll come. It'll come in time. Shouldn't be complaining about loot finding. Just one episode after we found 2 cards in one go. Admittedly, both of them were from farming specifically, 4 cards. But still, 2 in one, especially one that was that quick. I still don't believe that the first Bard Jongleur that I summoned dropped its card. That was just so amazing. Oh. Alright, that was a jarring beginning to that fight. At the Ebony Ent, cast Arbitration. The downside is that if it happens too often, he'll run out of Arbitration charges. And if we look at yeah, you are already out of regular Arbitration charges. So maybe if and that in that instance we only got a bit of a trivial amount of one of the basic resources. I think there are better things that you can get, but that wasn't one of them. Alright, now we go here and here. Where are the other bookshelves? Because I know, yeah, I know there are parts of the realm that we haven't seen yet. Just because we picked up books, you got a reward for putting them back into their shelves. There's our, and we also hadn't even found the Nether boss. The rich grow richer. This time we get a trivial amount of granite. This book, we get some more treasure. Right now, what I would like to do is I'd like to fight the master and hopefully win. Hopefully win. Yeah, I don't think I'm leaving anything else behind. Let's just see who you are. The Dumpling Master. Oh boy. This is a high-risk, high-reward situation. Dumplings are good at making new friends. Ever since I started traveling with a few dumplings in my party, I've come across all kinds of rare and interesting creatures. You should try it sometime. High risk, high reward. So, because we're losing stat gains, we really should just attack as much as we can. I think we're done. One and done. Well, one of them came back. Two of them came back. They're all coming back, but they're also all dying again. Now we can just punch you again. Hopefully end this combat. Some annoying traits are triggering, but I think we've got this under control. I'll even I'm not gonna use up any of my charges. I'm gonna let my Centaur Duelist get some action. Oh, yeah, and yeah, now you're confusing the enemy, which is great. I'm gonna let you use Rabbit Dementia to end this fight. There we go. So before I go to the next screen, remember when we fought dumplings one at a time, we'd get a huge amount of experience? Well, what do you think happens when you fight a party that is entirely dumplings? 6 dumplings. What do you think's gonna? How much experience do you think we're gonna get? Well, let's take a look. 2.74 million going from 66 to 80. That is what I like. And evidently that completed one of our prophecies. Was it to defeat Rhodian Masters or... Yep, the Rhodian Master one. That was good. Look, even if we lose to this Nether boss, the fact that we had a rare Master encounter, dumplings are... The Dumpling Master is one of those which has a small chance of showing up. It can happen in any realm, but it's a small chance, and when you get it, you really want to make sure that you're able to win. Alright, now with that done, let's probably lose to this Nether boss. We're probably gonna lose, and then we'll probably have to go back to the Arachnid Nest. I'm just telling it like it is. I don't want to give you guys unrealistic hopes, because that would just be cruel. Alright, we're fighting Myrtle. After Myrtle notices you, she crosses her eyes, uncrosses them, crosses them again, and then opens her mouth wide as she can before charging at you. I'm not even going to attempt to vocalize that, but clearly we can see that she's upset for some reason. Hopefully we can come to a reasonable understanding. Alright. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to use the macro to start out with. Just because my Dread White was frozen, and this will unfreeze him. We're not gaining that many stats, just because of the realm property. with my animators, I think we have to attack. Right, we have to attack. And I would like to... Well... Oh, we're getting frozen. That's so annoying. That is so irritating. Is anybody gonna get a chance to go? Well, the duelist confused one of the enemy. So they're not doing that much damage to us. But the fact that we're constantly frozen is making this a bit of a frustrating encounter. Maybe one day we'll get a chance to... Yeah. One of them miscast their spell due to confusion. One of them is trying to take down our animators, but our... Alright. This is a little bit annoying. I'm gonna cast... Like, we need to get a chance to go. What I'm gonna do is, I'm going to cast Blight. Well, I'm going to cast Defile, which will give them Blight. Because we did good damage to one of them, but then they just healed it all back. And I was really annoyed by that. Yes, now we're doing some good damage once again. We're just constantly frozen because of one of them being fused with the aspect of seasons. Is that going to help us? Well, one of them is dead. This is I will admit getting a little bit silly. It's also getting a little bit scary because our Animatus is blighted. Our Animatus is blighted, which is not good. So we need to cast Antidote. We need to cast this, Another one of them is... Oh! I knew some nonsense like this would happen. Our Animatus was blighted, and that ended up killing him. We couldn't get his blight gone in time. But fortunately, Confusion is helping us quite a lot. We might actually win. Which I'm very surprised. Hopefully our Dread White comes back to life. Which he did. Alright. Our Centaur Duelist is doing some fantastic work as well. And now that we're no longer blighted, we're getting our healing as well. And Mr. Duelist, I don't even know who is, you know what? Why don't you arbitrate? Take away their buffs. Why? And Mr. Ebony End, why don't you cast Rabid Dementia? I am annoyed that he seemingly dodged a couple of those hits. But anyway, can we... Oh my god. These dodges are really grinding my gears. Right, and now, yes, alright. So something seems to be odd with this creature. You're immune to damage while your allies are alive. Why are you healing and not taking damage from a... He's gained so many stats. Maybe Blight can finish you off, but wait. Why are you gaining stats when we're gaining stats? What is going on with that? Okay, this is bad. Okay, this is really bad. Yeah, we need to inspect you. Why are you gaining extra stats when our creatures are dying? Like, what are you... So, after a creature is killed, this creature gains 100% of their stats. Immune to damage while its allies are alive. Including... Okay, so we've... After this creature dodges, it casts Snowstorm. This is a really bad trait for it to have, just because it's dodging so often, and then it's casting a really devastating spell. So we are probably going to lose, but maybe we can... do... We have to... Yeah. We have to do that. We have to hope that... this creature somehow kills itself. And we don't want our... We actually do not want our Centaur Duelist around, because due to the trait that he rolled with, every time somebody misses with an attack, this creature is going to cast a very powerful sandstorm on us. We could scorn the enemy, then they won't be able to attack. But attacks aren't what's causing the issue. What's causing the issue is the fact that they've built up so much... like 50% dodge chance, and that garbage is really annoying. Let's just do Archangel's Blessing. Animatus. You have to start casting some sort of... we have to do some sort of damage to this thing. Wait, why are you... Oh, it's because... I understand. It's because an attack triggers every time. Yeah, see, the problem is this extra trait that it got has allowed it to get too many kills on our people, and there's nothing we can do, really. Impending Doom isn't gonna work. Yeah, we're probably gonna lose. Germinate will snare it and poison it. Honestly, this is all we... This is all we can do. I don't even think this is... this guy's taking damage. You know what, just defend? Why did you kill yourself? I'm going to guess Blight was involved. I'm gonna be honest, I was very close to forfeiting, but I'm like, let's give it another couple of turns. Why did you lose? Was Blight... Or did you... okay, here's what happened. The enemy Myrtle miscast Snowstorm due to its confusion, which gave it a trivial amount of damage, but then it would have gained a lot of healing from some source, but instead took a combined 196 million what, 196 plus like a combined 200 and well, that's 80 million basically. So a combined 276 million damage and killed itself. Wow. Like, again, high realm instability will frequently put you in situations where you think you're about to win, but then you lose. But also situations where you feel like you're about to lose, but then you win and you have no idea why. But you know what? A win is a win, and that gives us another 200 favor with Ariamaki. Our fortune has gone back up. Hopefully that's going to help us get some of those resources back that we spent. Summoning Divination Candle enemies, and the Goblet of Trials is full. Amazing. Fantastic stuff. So despite a very annoying boss fusion, we got through. Although, you know what, I'm not gonna sit here acting like it was, you know, clever strategy. It was luck. It was luck. But it was luck in both directions. It was bad luck that resulted in the enemy boss being fused with that creature in particular. But then it was good luck that resulted in the fight ending in the way that it did. I mean, at that point, the only way it could have possibly ended, because the creature had gotten so buffed, the only way it could have ended was if it had killed itself. And you know what? That's what the confusion debuff is for. The Centaur Duelist ultimately, like, feels weird saying this, but it's the MVP, despite nearly getting our entire party killed by, you know, all those repeated attacks. Because he confused the enemy, and that seems like that was part of why it ended up dying. Or maybe the blight was... maybe the healing it would have gotten was unconnected to that, but it feels like the confusion, if nothing else, saved us from taking damage from that fight. From that last round, anyway. It reminds me, you know, it's gonna be a bit of a stretch, but it reminds me of, you know, when you're watching a tennis match and one player is on the back foot. Nadal used to do this a lot, where he would be at a disadvantage, but he'd chase down the ball and hit another shot, and then he'd do it again, and forcing his opponent to hit a couple extra shots. And then sometimes your opponent just gets frustrated, hits the ball, loses concentration, hits the ball out, hits the ball into the net. I feel like that's kind of what happened there. We looked like we were losing, we definitely were losing, but we hung in the fight long enough for the enemy to die from an unforced error, essentially. Alright, I'm gonna summon one group of Divination Candle enemies. What's next on our list? Let's just go for the Bard Balladeer. I'm going to change the macro for you to the one, just in case you're going first. And yeah, let's. How many of these did I summon? Oh, when I say one, I mean one full set of 20 of these enemies. And yeah, I'm just gonna walk around killing these. We do need to do this for resources as well. This hasn't been that long of an episode, so I feel a little bit comfortable doing this. I'm not going to go crazy and summon extra groups, because I do need to start building up my my reserves of power as well. And now that we have Rabbit Dementia, we don't need to worry that much about combats being slow, because we can speed them up like this. It's only maps where enemies have dodge chance, which is where I would definitely not want to be summoning enemies. Yeah, and occasionally they are going first, but they're not able to do that much with their turn. Are we gonna get the card? Are we gonna get the card? Probably not. But sometimes you get really lucky. Case in point, last episode. I'm still buzzing a little bit over getting that card from the first one of those enemies that we fought. Alright, I'm just a little silent just because not much left to talk about. We've done everything we set out to do. We beat the Master, we beat the Nether boss, we beat the Realm. Now it just a victory lap. Let's think of it that way. And if one of these last 7 enemies can drop the card, that would make this an even sweeter end to this round. But even if they don't, a Nether boss win, especially first attempt, especially with a high item bonus, is always good. Always a nice bit of progress. Alright, what else? Where are these last 4? One of them is there, one is there, one is by the exit. Ooh, and there might be a chest at the end of this corridor, and one is all the way there. So let's do a bit of a loop and get all of them. Yeah, I love being able to essentially give my animators extra turns with Rabbit Dementia. Such a great spell. It's useful in combat, it also makes trash mob fights better. That is my favorite kind of improvement, like my favorite kind of buff, my favorite kind of addition to have to my build is something that not only helps you in hard fights, but also in easy fights. One enemy left. So let's hope that we get our card, but if not, that's fine. We'll have plenty more chances. We're now at 3.85 million energy. No card. That's okay. We have donated. Yes, we have donated. Let's go back. Oh yeah, we've got the Goblet of Trials to deal with as well. Let's collect this reward. A nice amount of a nice extra little bit of piety. It really adds up over time, especially if you're doing the Goblet of Trials every chance you get. But don't forget, if you're playing with a specific class and you can't just change to different classes, you've got to, well, I was going to say you've got to randomize the specializations until you get the one that you're playing as in the list of 3, but in this case we didn't even have to do that. That just makes my day. Anyway, I think that is going to be all for this episode. What a lovely episode. We explored the realm of breath and balance. We beat the Dumpling Master, got a whole, you know, like several million experience from one fight. And then we fought our Nether boss and beat it through a combination of grit and good fortune. Yeah, like even though I mentioned earlier that it was good luck, I am going to retroactively give myself some credit because we did hang around in that fight. There was that one move where I resurrected the red white to bring everyone else back, where we were on the verge of a party wipe. I did make some good moves along the way, but again, it's the tennis analogy. We hung in there long enough to give the enemy a chance to essentially defeat themselves. That was the crowning achievement in this episode, for sure. Now, we don't have another boss fight for a while. Realm 438 will be our next false god fight. So we have, again, one more realm and then another boss fight. So, yeah. We'll see how that goes when we get to it. But anyway, yeah. It was a good episode. And that is going to be all for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a good time. And hope to see you for the next one as well. Which is going to be a relaxed episode, because we're only going to do one realm. Because then the realm after that will be the false god. But anyway, like I said, that's going to be all. Hope you have a great day, and until the next time, take care.